Good morning. Thank you for joining me for my daily Come Follow Me study of the Old Testament. Today is, I have my planner here. Today's Wednesday, the 18th. I think so. Wednesday the 18th. And we're going to start with the daily reflection. I need to clean off my desk so bad. And the Lord said unto Moses, Make thee a fiery serpent, and set it upon a pole, and it shall come to pass that every one that is bitten, when he looketh upon it, shall live. Numbers 21:8. The Lord sent fiery flying serpents among ancient Israel to straiten and humble them. And after they were bitten, the Lord prepared a way that they might be healed. And the labor which they had to perform was to look, and because of the simpleness of the way, or the easiness of it, there were many who perished. Sadly, many had become so hardened because of their disbelief, so blind to truth that they would not look. It was too easy, too simple, too silly to look at a brass serpent on a pole and expect to live. But the Lord's words were fulfilled. And Moses made a serpent of brass and put it upon a pole. And it came to pass that if a serpent had bitten any man, when he beheld the serpent of brass, he lived. Abundant blessings come to those who follow the Lord and his prophet in all things. Okay. I got my new stand. If you couldn't tell, I gotta figure out how and where to put it. We're still working with angles, but it's on a stand now. We got it. Oh my gosh, my desk is such a mess. Okay. Today is Genesis chapter 44 and 45. In these verses, they bring Benjamin to Joseph. They dine at his house. He's treating them. They're having a great time. He blesses Benjamin, and then they leave and they're stopped by his guards because they put stuff in their sacks again as a test. And in the movie, this part's really funny. Simeon goes, if you find, because they're like, why would you steal from the master? And in the movie, Simeon goes, if you find anything, you can kill the culprit and make slaves of the rest of us. And it's in Benjamin's sack. And he's like, why are you so stupid? So funny. But anyways, they do that. Joseph reveals himself. They cry, they weep, they are excited. Pharaoh blesses his brethren, Benjamin more than the rest of them. Pharaoh says, go, bring your father and your entire family, take carriages and all this stuff. Go, you guys are going to live in Egypt now, and we're going to take care of you. We love Joseph so much. Bring. So, when the sons go back to Jacob, he doesn't believe them at first, but then once he sees the carriages, he's like, oh my goodness, my son, he's alive. Like, how absolutely happy would he be, Okay. In the dynamic vortex of forces displayed in this story shines forth the glow of love and concern of an aged father for his sons. Jacob, convinced that his beloved Joseph had been torn to pieces in the desert, would now sink into the shadows of death. Should be learned that Benjamin too was lost from his grasp forever. For some reason that sentence doesn't make sense to me. Thus Judah stands forth to plead before the governor of Egypt that he be allowed to offer himself as a bondsman and servant in the place of the youngest brother, all to protect the well-being of the father. This would prove too too much for Joseph to bear. The charade, instigated as a teaching process, would have to be suspended. The truth would have to emerge to bless the lives of the senior brothers, weighed down under the burden of remorse and self-incrimination with newfound hope and joy. In the movie, they're brought before Joseph after they find this stolen item in the sack. And he's like, all of you can leave. Benjamin will stay. He will be my slave forever. And all the brothers are like, no, that's not happening. Take me. I'll be the slave. Like, Benjamin has to go back to my father. And Joseph is saying, no, Benjamin will stay. He will be my slave, and the rest of you can go. And there comes this dramatic point where all the brothers take over the room and, like, steal the weapons of the guards. And, like, they're like, sorry, but we're taking him back. You can try to kill us all, but he's going back. And Joseph says, so now you're willing to trade your life for one of your brothers. What about the one you sold? Why didn't you do it for him? And the charade is then over. It's a very dramatic moment in the movie. Very lovely. For chapter 45, they've got forgiveness. The forgiving spirit of Joseph is manifested with remarkable clarity, he being a shadow and type of the Redeemer himself, sent from God to preserve the life of all God's children. Like Joseph, any individual touched by a redeeming spirit can never restrain the exercise of forgiveness. We are grateful indeed when others cross our mortal path who are willing to share our burdens in life. We are thankful when friends lift away the heaviness of our journey, for burdens there are not a few. That is why the people of the Lord, as part of Zion's covenant bond, are willing to bear one another's burdens. Of all such burdens, there is none in life to exceed the weight of our own sense of imperfection. When pride or sin or anguish over personal faults settles upon our shoulders and presses downward upon our heart, that is indeed a great weight. If others are forgiving and supportive in our quest to unfold our spiritual wings of penitence, heaven-bound, then we thank them from the depths of our being. Some will lift and some encourage, but there is only one with the power to free us from the persistent ponderousness of sin. Our desire to have the buoyancy of hope through Jesus Christ rest in our minds forever. That is the easy yoke. That is the light burden. To be forgiven and to be forgiving brings peace, unity, enduring happiness, and the promise of eternal life. What greater joy could a parent have than to learn that a child, long believed dead, yet lives? In even greater measure, how supreme is the joy of any parent to learn that a child who has strayed from the straight and narrow pathway has come back into the fold once again. Said John, I have no greater joy than to hear that my children walk in truth. Okay, that's all the supplemental has for this week. It goes straight into Exodus, so we'll see this next. Okay, but anyways, thoughts. I don't know. I just love the story of Joseph. Mainly because of the movie. The movie is top notch. Okay, top notch, top tier. It's a wonderful movie. I'm not like Joseph. I do hold a grudge. I do. And I've got pride. If somebody wrongs me, I'm like, oh really? Oh really? But it's something we're working on, okay? All right. That was Genesis 44 and 45, and tomorrow we do 46. Oh my goodness. Okay. Times without number have I prayed, this only once forgive. Relapsing when thy hand was stayed, and suffered me to live. Yet now the kingdom of thy peace. Lord, to my heart restore. Forgive my vain repentances, and bid me sin no more. Sometimes I wonder about some of those prayers. Okay, that's all for today. We'll see you tomorrow.